quite fun, both from the first game, kind of a little bit. Okay. So let's see here. This guide is saying we can go talk to Atten. We could definitely spend a lot of time talking to Atten now. Handmaiden, we can go do that. Yeah, so I think this is what we're gonna do. Let's talk to a couple of people on the ship. So that way I don't have to do it on stream tomorrow. And maybe even after I finish Nar Shaddaa, maybe I won't have to do these things because we'll take care of it now. Since, you know, if I'm going to be streaming this, most people probably don't want to see this, or really haven't been invested in it. Like if you were watching, you know, the videos on YouTube, and such. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go talk to Handmaiden. We'll do her sparring match, and then, we could do stuff with T3, HK, Atten, probably. But I'll have to figure out Atten's stuff because it's a little bit weird, I think. Yeah, let's go and do this.
Yes?
Teach me some fighting moves. I'll try to remember what I picked last time.
I think you are ready for the final tier I wish to teach. You have made much progress. For this, you may use any melee weapon and any shields you possess, but nothing else. No Jedi saber, and no other items.
Alright.
We shall begin this final lesson then.
She just takes off her bronze kini. Ooh.
Atris was correct about you. You know war, its motions and currents. There is nothing more I can teach you.
Then maybe I can teach you some things.
I have already learned much of your styles and combat. There is no need to know more.
What's the problem?
Combat among the Ichani is a personal thing. Repeated duels are not what they are in other cultures, and I would rather that this not become more than it is. And I have taken an oath to Atris against studying from a Jedi, or anything of the Jedi teachings.
But do you want to learn?
What I desire is of no importance. My father broke his oaths.
Influence
He shamed us all. I do not wish to follow his path. I swore not to follow his path. If I were to follow a Jedi against Atris's wishes, then I would be betraying her for you.
If I am lost and all I know, all I could teach you would be Losh. I wish somebody to know what I have learned. There is no betrayal in learning, and it is important to me that you know the Jedi, that you know who I was, who I am. If you do not want, do what you want, then you betray yourself. I think I said this line. There is no betrayal in learning.
This is a difficult thing for me to say, but I ask that you be silent as I tell you this. It is my desire to learn from you what you can teach me of battle. I have already learned much in our duels, but with every battle, I wish to know more of you. Your stance, your movements.
So you're in, then.
I can sense shades of meaning and an echo of something I have yet to experience. Atris said that you were the only Jedi to have survived the Mandalorian Wars, that you had stared into the heart of war, and only turned away because you were forced to. I do not believe her. I believe that you made a choice, as my father did, and that is important to me, more than you know. And you are important to me more than you know. I will accept whatever you wish to teach me, though it breaks my oath to Atris.
Okay. And when the time is right, I will teach you more of battle. You have chosen your new master well. I will have further instructions for you as we travel together.
I shall await that time, but until then, I will need time to reflect on this. It is different to voice something you feel, and I must grow accustomed to the weight.
I will leave it to you then. Influence gain. So now we should have enough influence to turn her into a Jedi, but again, not quite sure how we do that. Anyways, let's put some clothes back on. Put that back on. We need to put, we need to actually equip our lightsaber again. Okay. Just wait for my guy to go out of his stance here. Save it. All right, let's talk to her about the robes.
Yes? I fail to understand the problem. I had heard the Corward systems had customs concerning modesty, but when training, such customs are not practical or efficient. I can see no fault in your reasoning. I do have bulkier clothes. Will this do?
Look at those robes. Jedi robes, dude.
They suffice for training purposes. They belong to my mother.
They belong to your mother? Who was she?
She was the one my father followed to war. She was a Jedi. I never knew her. There is no absence of presence when there was nothing there to begin with. I miss only that I never knew her at all, and what it was about her that caused my father to follow her to war.
So Handmaiden has to be somewhat force sensitive already, story-wise, so it makes sense that we can turn her into a Jedi. Okay.
You may ask.
Let's ask about some questions. I don't know if I can...
They are.
Trigger any of this.
She was the one I miss. You may.
There's a thing in here where it's like we ask her about her mother and then some things happen and stuff like that, but I don't know if that can be done right now. We might need to get a little bit more dialogue from Kreia before we can do some stuff with Handmaiden. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's as simple as like she's not 100% influenced, or if she is, then we have to exit the ship, re-enter, that sort of thing, which I don't think I can do at this point in time, so we might have to do a little bit later. But we do need to speak to Kreia, because we haven't talked to Kreia in a very long time, and I know she's going to have things to say about Handmaiden, Visas, and other things. So let's do that, because there was a moment in time before exiting to Nar Shaddaa, we were going to talk to her, and then I was like, I don't want to try and maneuver my way through these conversations. So let's try and do that right now. And then we can do Atten, we can try and do T3 maybe as well. And then if we wanted to, we could do HK, but I might save HK for like later on, because I think technically we got him early, and you're not really supposed to get him until maybe after Nar Shaddaa. But we kind of got him early, so it's kind of just like, whatever. Don't really mind it, to be honest. But yeah. So anyways, let me see if I can maneuver some of these conversations, because these were like supposed to take place like before Dantooine maybe, which was the previous planet we just did. So let me see if I can kind of maneuver around here and try to figure them out. See what I need to say for like influence and stuff like that. Let's see.
You have befriended the seer.
You have befriended the seer. Where would that be? Seer? You mean the blind Sith?
Her species does not see as we do. They perceive the galaxy through the Force, and it is how she found you. It is a rare gift squandered on her people. Despite your urges, it would be better to deal with her now. Whether you intend salvation or slavery, she is a threat to us. She serves one of the greatest of the Sith. She is the most trusted and only apprentice. Yet you spare her. Why?
There may be a way to help her. I don't kill prisoners. Because there is nothing to be gained by murdering her yet. Ooh, maybe I should say that. I'm not seeing these options in this dialogue bit here. Kind of weird. Because there is nothing to be gained by murdering her yet.
We shall see. There may be value in such a choice to keep her alive, or perhaps not. Whatever your intentions toward her, keep them restrained. Whether mercy or lust, we have time for neither.
I don't know why I did that. I just heard lust and just kind of funny to do that. My intentions of her are none of your concern. It is the Jedi way to attempt to save those. I don't need a lecture from you again. If she threatens any of us, I will deal with her, I promise you.
Is that so? Well, perhaps there will be a second chance for her to inflict harm, so you may test such a statement. It is good that you have never wondered what lay beneath her robes, if her alabaster skin was as white and unblemished as her face, or if perhaps she bore the scars of slavery, and if that would stir you more. If perhaps her deferent tone would change once you held her by the throat and showed her how far a Jedi can fall. Few are the thoughts that can hide in the shadows of your mind, exile, and such passions are not strength but erosion.
I feel like Kreia is planting a little bit of those thoughts in my head, even though I'm not thinking about them. The way she was saying, like, what's underneath her robes and stuff like that. It's like, I ain't never even thought about that. Kreia, what are you wondering about there? Let's see. I've never felt anything like that. Maybe you should keep your thoughts to yourself. No. My feelings for her are nothing like that, and you know it. If you think you know me, you're wrong. Perhaps or perhaps not. We shall see. Where is this line in the dialogue here? So that's why that line's not in here, I guess. All these options lead to... Well, 3 of these options lead to pretty much the same dialogue, just worded differently, and the last 2, a little bit more dialogue, but ultimately the same, according to that, which is kind of cool. Perhaps or perhaps not. We shall see. I think this is the one I probably would have picked there. To be honest.
I cannot help but hear you at times, and such curious thoughts they are, not at all like a Jedi. See to it that you do not ever act upon your impulses. Mating with her will bring more harm than you know. Like the servant of Atris, this one has other masters. Though blind, she has ties to darkness. Her presence here is a threat to us, to you. Do not underestimate her, or her loyalty.
I mean, with her saying that, makes me want to do it even more, right? Ties to her master. Perhaps. Okay, so we can't... There's 2 options that give us influence with Kreia, and then there's dark side points. Trust me, all I wanted was her lightsaber. I think I want influence here, to be honest. What does this thing say? In every case... Yeah, I don't really need dark side points. I just, I'll take the I'll take the influence. If she can see the Force, maybe she can help us find allies. If she can see the Force, maybe she can help us find the lost Jedi. Ties to her master, perhaps. And I intend to follow that bond to its source when the opportunity presents itself. I think I can help her. She doesn't seem evil. All I wanted was a lightsaber. That leads to a funny line, apparently. But I have to say this, because this gives me dark side points. But I need influence with Kreia.
Then you are learning.
You are learning. Do you know why her home was destroyed? All that. Da-da. Oh, and I think this is where the intel check shows up here. Her entire planet was destroyed. She has no home left. Do you know why her homeworld was destroyed? She'll probably tell me anyway. Atten said her planet was wiped out, that it was the only colony of her people in the sector of the galaxy.
Did he? And what do you make of that?
So this is where there would be like an intelligence check. Apparently you have to have, it has to be higher than 14. And right now my intel is at exactly 14. So apparently you need 15 for this. And even with that new robe that we just got randomly, that boosts your intel by 4, it's still not enough. So I am going to have to try and find a way to boost my intel by 1. Most likely with an implant, probably. Unless there's some belt that drops or something like that. Because I was looking, I couldn't find anything. But I did find out that even if you don't get it right here, you can re-enter conversations with Kreia and come back down here. So when I have 15 intel, then it should show up and we should learn more about what we want to learn about here. So I'm fine with just skipping or just like not uncovering it right now because we don't have enough intel.
You are right to trust your instincts. If your instincts lead you to an answer,
yeah, because right there she says that like, you know, if you figure anything else out, then you can talk with it. And plus it's like right in here, watch. Right here. I have thought more about the destruction. And so when we have 15 intel, we'll come back in there and we'll do that. So that's fine. Okay. Oof. That was annoying trying to figure all that stuff out. Okay. So save it. Let's keep talking to Kreia because we got a lot more to discuss here.
You are spending time with the servant of Atris.
You are spending time with the servant of Atris. I'm surprised you know so much when you never leave this room. Kind of want to say that just to see what happens.
I knew her mother. She was a Jedi Knight, a master, named Aaron Kai. Jedi are forbidden to have children, and when the crime finally came to light almost a decade later, Kai was exiled. She joined the Mandalorian Wars after the shame of her birth was revealed.
Ooh. I didn't even think about that. If Handmaiden's mother was a Jedi aren't supposed to have offspring. And well, she did. That's crazy, dude. If it's true. Well, I mean, I guess it is true, because Handmaiden's around here. But I thought it made it sound like... Handmaiden made it sound like it's her stepmother. Not her actual mother, but I don't know. Maybe I'm misremembering that. How do you know that? The Handmaiden told me not to speak of it.
Revan welcomed her, and she was said to be a skilled warrior, beautiful and strong in the Force. The Force flows strongly in the blood of those born from Force sensitives. I doubt that Aaron was any different. If the servant of Atris is of her blood, then the potential lies within her. If you train her, if you teach her the ways of the Jedi, you will be asking her to break her oath to Atris. It would be best not to train her, and let the bloodline die with Telos.
Rather not. Rather not do that. But shouldn't she know her heritage? There's a wisdom check here too. But I'll say the wisdom line anyway, because why not? You said teach her the ways of the Jedi. Curious choice of words.
Ah, that was an interesting choice of words indeed. She has sworn not to follow the path of the Jedi by her oath, but even that oath is limited. One does not need to be Jedi to learn the ways of the Force. I suspect it cares little for our codes and philosophies.
But there is only Jedi and Sith, so what you're proposing seems a greater evil? Are you proposing teaching her the ways of the Sith?
I propose nothing except what you choose to read into my words. But no, I would not advocate such teachings either. I am only saying that she has sworn not to follow the teachings of the Jedi, and that is a curious distinction in her oath. But we were speaking of the servant of Atris. I would caution you to be careful of your interaction with her. She is not as tempered as you.
Okay. So that was just a little bit of extra dialogue. But shouldn't she know her heritage?
Should she? By whose judgment should such truths be revealed? I do not have such arrogant presumptions. The Jedi separate children from their parents as they did you. It is because family exerts a powerful influence on one's development. I am merely saying that revealing such things can have profound consequences, nothing more.
Yeah, and then the wisdom thing came in there, which I already said. Well, there's a little bit of insight, but nothing too much there. How could I train her if I'm not supposed to teach her the ways of the Jedi? Sith, then, right?
You must train yourself first. The time will reveal itself. Yet if you persist as you have, building her trust, then you will be training her, whether you know it or not, until the choice is hers, not yours.
Yeah, so she's basically like, if you get enough influence, then she's kind of training on, you kind of guys are already training, rather than, you know, actually teaching stuff like that. So we'll end this little bit of dialogue here.
Before you go, a word of caution.
Oh, yeah?
Spend time with her if you must, but recognize where your true loyalties lie, to the galaxy and yourself.
My feelings for her are none of your concern. My loyalties lie to my friends and allies. I don't know. I would say 1, maybe? 1 or 4, maybe? I don't know. My feelings for her are none of your concern.
Ah, so then perhaps
I think
I was
maybe all of it
mistaken
leads to the
in my
same
judgment.
spot.
Never have you wondered what it would mean in the Ichani rituals if the two of you sparred and fought, and you won, completely and utterly? If perhaps she would give in, surrender herself to you, few are the thoughts that can hide in the shadows of your mind. Exile, and such passions are not strength, but erosion.
Oh, so this is just like the Visas thing. So she's basically like, maybe you should spar with her type of thing there. Perhaps and perhaps not, we shall see.
I cannot help but hear you at times, and such curious thoughts they are, not at all like a Jedi. But I shall keep such thoughts to myself, I think. And you should as well.
Okay. Yeah, we don't, there was no light or dark side options on that one. Okay, let's see if she has anything else to say. Otherwise, we can, like, start going through and asking her questions about stuff again.
Yes. Have you come with questions?
Okay. Lightsaber combat is something I want to ask about. More Force stuff. But let's just ask about some of these other things. What's wrong with your eyes? I've kind of already done that. That's when we got all that other stuff. Here's what I'm gonna do. Let me does this persuade charisma? Persuade does not go up. Intel, wisdom. We put this on just for this quest here, or not quest, but this
Yes. Have you
discussion here.
asked?
So the eyesight stuff, we already did that.
There is nothing wrong. I see.
Is it like Vis's eyes?
There is nothing wrong with my eyes. They simply have atrophied from use. They are adequate to distinguish shapes.
I remember
silhouettes.
asking her about this.
If need be, I could heal them, restore my sight. But sight can prove a distraction. When one relies on sight to perceive the world, it is like trying to stare at the galaxy through a crack in the door. But that is a lesson for another time. You must learn to see crude matter for what it is, before the veil is lifted.
But how do you get around?
Close your eyes. Feel this ship around you. Listen to my words. Hear the sound of the Handmaiden's training in the cargo hold. Her hands cutting the air.
Pretty sure we asked this long time ago.
Welding of the droid as it goes about its work.
Computer use. AT3 has a stuck motivator.
Now, stretch out.
Stretch out.
Hear the rumble of hyperspace, the hum of the hyperdrive.
Hey, I can hear a catch in it. It's not fully fixed. But my repair and my computer use skills are so high that I'm getting these little extra bits.
Ignore distractions and focus on my voice. The breathing of the blinded one as she meditates in the dark. Now, listen deeper past her breathing and listen.
As my feet walk from the ashes of Qatar, I shall not fear, for in fear lies death, and
I hear her thoughts.
You are strong indeed. What you heard was surface thoughts only.
That's
but
crazy.
It is something that masters have trained for years and never learned.
So maybe I haven't done this then. Was I always able to do that?
That is not the real question you should ask. Is such listening enough to perceive the world around you? It is not. Because to listen to the thoughts of another is much like attempting to see the universe only with your eyes. It is equally limiting. Now leave me be. I must rest.
You have gained a +1 awareness and recovered some of your connection to the Force. Hey, it's like kind of like training there. Nice, and I leveled up too. Maximum Force points increased. Sick, dude. What's my awareness is low, I think. Pretty sure my awareness is low. It's pretty bad. 12. I can get either my awareness to 15 or 16 rather, or my intel to 15 to do that extra bit of dialogue.
Yes? Ask.
Ask her about... Ah, yeah, so the eyesight thing is gone now. Yeah, this was one of the lessons. When Kreia had us close our eyes and we felt the ship, that happens after Visas attacks you, when you first meet her or whatever. So yeah, we did all of that, which gave us a +1 to awareness and more connection to the Force. So that was like a lesson, quote unquote. Apparently there's more stuff that we can learn as well, which we may or may not do. Okay.
Ask.
Other questions?